Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope we're doing really well. I am in a great mood because I am doing the Manchester Half on Sunday, and I have been building up to this race day for literally the past, I don't even know how long. I don't really ever stop running. So I've been gradually building up my volume again, but I did have a bit of a period off over summer. So it's been kind of since end of August that I've been building back up to race day, which is literally almost here. And I just thought I would check in with you guys each day along the week and just tell you about what's going on today and just keep you in the loop roughly, because there's a lot happening and it's going to be a really exciting week. So this week, obviously, it's going to finish with the race day on Sunday. I'm going for a PB. I did have a chat with Stone this morning and I did have a moment of self-doubt where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be getting a PB. And I'm like, no, Lauren, you have put in so much time and effort and you have no reason to not believe that you're going to get a PB. And if I believe that I'm not going to get one, then that's only going to fuel that negative energy. We need to be going in there with a positive mindset, and everything is telling me that I can achieve this PB. So that is what we're going for. And secondly, I am hosting a shakeout run for the Manchester Half with my run club and Puma on Thursday, which is such a full circle moment because I just can't believe that one, I am going to be hosting a shakeout run for the Manchester Half, and two, that it's with my little run club, which is so special and dear to me, and it's just like my life and soul. And you guys probably hear me talk about it so much, but we already sold 80 tickets for the full event because we've got a DJ, we've got freebies, we've got all of that stuff, food, drinks, etc. And so now we're selling run-only tickets, which are flying. And so I think there's going to be quite a lot of people because last time I checked, there was already 100 tickets sold. So we're going to see how many people actually turn up to the event. But I have that. And then tomorrow I'm on BBC Radio Manchester talking all things Manchester Half, Run Club, running journey. That will be really cool and a fun experience because I've never been on the radio before. I've done a podcast. I've done 2 podcasts actually. 3 podcasts. But I've never been on the radio, which is kind of scary because it's live. And then I'm also launching the Let's Grow Zoned In Challenge, which I'm very excited for because I personally feel like I need this, as well as just it being a really cool thing that I'm able to now extend out to more people in the community, because last year we did it, but we did it in-house with my one-to-one clients. But now we're opening the doors basically to anyone that wants to join us, and it's going to be launching on Monday following this video. So I'm gonna vlog this week. We've got a very fun week. I'm literally about to make breakfast. I've just filmed some stories to try recruit the masses to this run on Thursday. We've got a photographer, we've got a DJ. I'm so excited. I need to make the route still, but I know exactly where we're gonna run. I feel like I run around Manchester so much that I am the person that is best equipped to make the perfect route that is 1, gorgeous, 2, safe, because safety is important, and 3, scenic, because I like my runs to be almost like a tour. I've got favorite streets, I've got favorite areas, I've got streets that maybe I would avoid and streets that I want to take people down. And so it's basically a run tour, but I'm about to poach my eggs because we're still on the water-based hype. Can I just quickly show you the fridge because I'm very proud of this. And Stone is the only person that gets to see me obsess about my meal prep and stuff these days, because I realise it's kind of boring to talk about it all the time, but YouTube, you guys can get this one. So in the fridge this week, I've already taken some stuff out actually because I'm about to prep lunch, but I've made me and Stone our sandwich, our pita filling, which is creamy chicken, sweet corn, red onion, so nice. I've got one out here and one here, so that's going to be 5 days worth of filling for the pittas. The pittas are in the cupboard, and the pittas, guys, they only have a 3-day shelf life, which I'm very annoyed at, and I can't be bothered to take up with Tesco because I am going to just eat them when they've expired by the end of the week, but that's not okay, is it? Then Stone's is down here. We've got some leftover chicken that is to be cooked if we need anything later in the week, which Stone will probably have that tonight. Well, he'll probably have that for his dinners, and I'm going to have the fish that's in the freezer. We've got some boiled potatoes from our odd box last week that I just boiled up last night, popped in there. Sweet potatoes that are already boiled. Don't know if you can see any of this. I literally chop them up and boil them so that then you just chuck them in the air fryer or whatever you want to do with them. And they're good to go because it's best to get all the boiling out of the way. And then in here we've got some other vegetables. We've got loads of tomatoes, and I've also got literally 4 boxes of these because I eat a lot of tomatoes. We've got some broccoli, peppers, and cucumber. But some of the cucumber is already pre-chopped. And then, also chicken stock left over from boiled chicken that I made yesterday. Don't throw away, you should say that. And then this is basically the same as Fire, but Fire was sold out and I checked the macros and it's the same and it's nice and thick. So I had some last night and it's great. And I'm gonna have this on my yogurt bowl. So I've already pre-chapped and prepped everything for the week because the week is gonna be that busy that I don't wanna have to think about my food or tracking, but I obviously am racing a half marathon on Sunday. So the food is very important. We can't neglect the food. So I have prepped and pre-tracked everything into my fitness pal. We're hitting everything, amazing. Breakfast is gonna be the usual, eggs, toast, sourdough, avocado. Lunch is gonna be these creamy chicken pittas with cucumbers on the side. Then we've got dinner, which is like fish, potatoes, broccoli. And then we've also got an oat and yogurt bowl before bed because we need the carbs. I used to just have yogurt bowls, but now I've started to put oats in there just because I like it and it means that, I don't know, it's more carbs, right? Rather than me throwing a meringue in, which is obviously still carbs, but oats are just, I've been feeling so well fueled and I've really seen the progress in my physique. And not to try tense for you guys, but I do think I was potentially under fueling on the carbs, and just even that little switch, adding the oats into my oat bowl, into my yogurt bowl, has made a big difference. So I'm eating a bit more carbs these days, still similar amounts of protein, and then we've got some fizzy water at the top to mix with the squash. But I really need to make this food because I need to get on with my client check-ins. Today I am doing client check-ins and I am going to get my YouTube video uploaded, and I've already done quite a lot of content bits this morning. So by the time I'm done with those 2 things, the day will probably be done. So we're keeping the task list small because there's not much time to get it all done, but we will eat some food and I am very excited. I'm really focusing on my sleep this week. I want to have a consistent sleep and wake schedule. My Whoop band has been telling me off recently and I've changed it to red, and I don't know if this is, it doesn't really go with the colour that I'm wearing, but the Whoop band has been telling me off. So we're now going to bed at 10 p.m, waking up at 6:30. That is my daily routine. I will be checking in with you guys to let you know how I'm getting on this week with that, but you can believe me that we're sticking with that. So that is one focus, obviously, with the half being the driver and the motivator for that. But it's also something that I just need to snap into gear with anyway. And the Let's Grow Zoned In Challenge is gonna exactly help me with that. I think sometimes we just need like that reset, that accountability check, and I'm excited to be doing it with my girls starting next week. But I'm getting started a week in advance. So 10 p.m. bed, 6:30 wake. I used to get up at 5 a.m, but because Stone plays rugby and his days sometimes are a bit shifted into the evenings, I found that last year we were on different schedules. I would love to say that I can get up at 5 a.m. every day, which I could, because I don't have kids or I don't have any reason that I can't get up at 5 a.m. But for me, I found that my relationship is stronger when we're on a more similar schedule. I don't want to have to eat without him. I don't want to have to go to bed before him. So it just works so much better if we go to bed at 10 and I wake up at 6:30. He can wake up at whatever time he wants. But that's enough sleep for me. And so sleep, food is ticked. And what else? Hydration, I'm pretty good with that. And just trusting in the taper. That is probably the other key focus, because in the past I've definitely not trusted in the taper and then not felt so fresh come race day. But my coach is gonna keep me in check on that one. And I'm gonna do what she says. But I've already trained this morning and I had a really nice interval session actually. And I was just thinking about Sunday and everything that's coming up this week, and I just got really excited, and I just feel so fortunate that this is going to be such a special week. And yes, so I'm gonna eat. I just want to lastly show you my chopped cucumbers. Just because this is basically what I'll be having all week, I thought I'd show you what I'm having today. So breakfast is eggs, avocado, sourdough, tomatoes, and I didn't poach the egg well or successfully, sadly. We've got a coffee with some almond milk with 2 scoops of collagen in there. You can't taste it if it's unflavoured. I've got some creatine in here. I'll show you what I use actually. I've got 2 scoops of the Dose & Co. I'll link it below. But I've got 2 scoops of this in my coffee. And then I've got 2 scoops of the Free Soul creatine and collagen. But this doesn't actually have much collagen in. 2 scoops is 2.4 grams of protein. So basically, adding this to my breakfast, it just really ramps up the protein content. And I know a lot of people struggle with getting protein in at breakfast time. So this is a hack. I used to put loads of egg whites into my eggs. And to be honest, I still would sometimes. But as you can see, we do have a lot of eggs in this household. But to cut back on costs, this is better. And then what I will be having every day for lunch is one of these wholemeal pittas. I have just thrown it back into the air fryer because it was a bit soggy. But I've just mashed up an avocado in that. And then I'm gonna put my creamy pulled chicken fillet in, 280 grams. Should we see if we can fit that in? Don't like to overthink my food. I like to track it so that I know that I am doing what I want to be doing, to put my right foot forward for race day. And then that is a gorgeous creamy chicken pitta. And guys, the trick with this is, and with anything that's creamy, don't use mayo because mayo is full of not great stuff. There's a time and place for mayo, but this has just got that Greek yogurt in and it adds protein. It's good for you, it leaves you feeling good. It's not like loads of random stuff in there. It's cheaper because mayo is not cheap. So I'm just gonna pop her into tinfoil. When I leave the flat, we just crack her out. And yes, I am someone that will eat in cafes because unfortunately cafe food isn't really the greatest. But I buy a coffee and I think I might even just go to the workspace in the building today, but we do this, stick it in, pre-chopped cucumbers, because I like to feel like I'm having a bit more vegetables. I used to always have a salad at lunch, but I'm really on the pitta height. So I just squeeze as many cucumbers in as I can. And then I have that for lunch. Eat good, train good, look good, feel good. Got some chives. They were also a hack. They make things taste so much better. But yes, it doesn't have to take hours in the kitchen to eat good. That is what we want to promote. And this is breakfast. I've got my chives all over my fork. Oh God, and I do have this to the side because I did crack that open before my gym session. That is basically what I'm gonna have every day this week because we're busy and I don't really have time to think elsewise. We're about to go in for my interview. I've never been in this building, but I've walked past it many a time. We are at Media City UK and that is the BBC building. I don't really know what to expect. Don't know if it's gonna be live or if it's gonna be pre-recorded, but all I've been told is to be here for 4, to be on air at 4:10, and it's gonna be very chill and casual. In and out, that was short and sweet. Well, actually, it felt like a really good conversation, and I'm gonna have to try find it to insert on this vlog, but we spoke about the Manchester Half that is this Sunday, spoke about the run club and just a bit about how I started the run club, how I got into running. You know what, it reminded me of a podcast setup, which I guess is very similar to radio, but yeah, way more official. So we've been on BBC Radio Manchester. Also, they were super strict on security getting in. I had to be scanned, I had to have my bag scanned, my body scanned, and there was just so many people in there. It was different to what I was maybe expecting. There was just loads of little studios and then loads of desks and offices. But I'm gonna get the tram back to town and we're gonna get to yoga. Evening guys, it is now Tuesday night and I've just been to hot yoga. I've had a shower. Stone is currently out at rugby and he'll be back soonish. But I am gonna chill. I've got a yogurt bowl here. I have made my absolute favorite meal. Look how big that is. That used to be a candle and then I've turned it into my favorite yogurt bowl. I've got 40 grams of oats. I've got 3 Ferrero Rochers because Stone got me one of those little packs of them. So well done for the interview that I did today, which was so sweet of him. He was like, well, I know that when we go to the shops, we never buy Ferrero Rochers because I know that you always want them, but you never buy them because they're so expensive. And I'm like, that is true. So I've got my 3 celebratory Ferrero Krugels, apparently they're called, inside, instead of the dark chocolate and peanut butter I usually put in. And then I've got blueberries, mango, yogurt, and honey. And let me see if I can find you a Ferrero. Beautiful. I'm gonna have to be honest, I basically put all of my calories and protein into this because it is a girl dinner and I don't get many of these. And Stone's out and I said, do you want dinner? And he said, no, I'm going out for pizza with the boys. I made an error this week, basically, guys. I didn't buy good stuff to make dinners with. And now I'm just like, oh, I'd rather just have a massive one of these and enjoy myself. So tomorrow night, we're probably going to have normal dinner where we have fish, broccoli, potatoes. But if it fits in your macros and it's race week, that's all that matters. Some people like a sweet something in the morning. I like a sweet something in the evening. So that's just how we differ. But I am going to chill and I'm feeling like learning. I'm probably going to put on something like TED Talk vibes, or I'm going to put on something educational, because sometimes I find when I put on non-educational stuff on the evening, I don't know, I feel more content when learning. I feel like it's easier to turn off and then go to bed, whereas the brain numbing stuff, I don't want to go to sleep. But anyway, so yeah, that's probably what I'm going to watch. Something educational, TED Talk. I am loving this week though, honestly. I'm currently a bit frazzled after today. Okay guys, I was just editing this video and turns out that it is very long. So I'm going to upload it in 2 parts so that I can get one up this week. And then I'll post the second half next week, because I realized that I shot the start of the week and then there's a big gap. And then it was Friday / the weekend. And I just want to give you a full view of the whole week because so much happened and it was such a crazy, exciting, cool week on so many fronts. So yes, the second half where we do the half marathon will be uploaded next Sunday. But I firstly needed to tell you guys something. So in the video, if you watch it, I don't know if I've cut it out actually, but I talk about that I'm going to chat to a lady called Simone on BBC Radio Manchester. That's what I got sent in the email. And I'm going to be honest, I did just turn up. And you know when you just trust that you've read the name, you've got the name in your head, but I didn't have a face for the name. And turns out I was being interviewed by Michelle, but we didn't really have a formal hello when I got there. I just went straight on air. So I was calling her Simone and she was called Michelle because it was a last minute swap. And I felt so bad. I wasn't going to tell you this because I think it's really embarrassing. I have now learned, do your due diligence when you're being interviewed. I know it was quite rude of me. I just was in the whirlwind of the week. There was just a lot going on. And I thought I'd done my due diligence by checking the email, but Michelle was a lovely lady and we had a great conversation. I'm actually going to insert our conversation here. I started the run club 2 years ago now, and it started as a group of friends because we wanted to offer a space that was safe for women to run over winter. Usually, when I didn't like running so much and when it wasn't such a big part of my life, I would stop every winter because it felt a bit unsafe and I didn't enjoy the cold weather. But as time went on, I realised how important it is to run throughout the year. Yeah, I just love that we've got that space, like safe space for women to run. I just think maybe I don't actually talk enough about my run club and what I do with the run club, and I just think it's amazing if we can get the word out to more ladies in Manchester to get more of you down, because we want to run with you. We are super welcoming, friendly. I know that I'm biased when I say this, but we are really, off the back of the event that you're going to see in next week's video, we got some really insightful feedback, really helpful feedback. Actually, we did a giveaway because I really wanted to just get some feedback from a lot of people, and things that people said were that we're really welcoming. They love the community. They thought the route was really lovely. Just all the things you really want from a run club. And that people literally make friends at the run club all the time, which is amazing, because that is what the run club is for. And I know there's a loneliness epidemic at the moment, and things like run clubs make it easy for people to connect. And women, like obviously ours is a ladies only run club, but it allows women to connect with other women in their city. And I can literally name so many girls from run club that have made the best of friends, to the point that I thought that eventually they were already friends before the run club. And then when I've asked later on, they were like, no, we literally met at the run club. And I'm like, what? You guys are like best friends? I know that's happened at loads of events that I've hosted. And I think if I could just bring girlies together, that makes me very happy. And I love my city. I love helping bring girls together. And I would love more of you girls to come. And whether you feel that maybe our run club is for you or not, please everyone just come, because I know that generally the run club looks quite young, and I don't know. I know with run clubs, there's a specific audience that me running myself attracts. And I'm working on that, because I want us to have people of all ages. I want to have such a broad spectrum of runners, because I think that's how you create an incredible community that just feels very welcoming to anyone and everyone. So know that I am working on that, and I've got some ideas of how I do it. But anyway, to close off this video, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you for part 2 of this, where we take on the half marathon. And I'll also tell you about the event that we had, which was really, really fun. And please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.